Alrighty. Feels good, brother. Middle of October. Hunting mid-October can be tough, but when you hunt with the weather, you know, odds are definitely in your favor. Right now, the weather is muy bien. So let's go. Getting ready, as you can tell. It is exceptionally windy, but we're gonna be on the south end of a lot of timber, so with a strong northwest wind in our face, so hopefully it's not blowing too hard in there. If it is, I've killed deer in stronger winds, so we'll be all right. I'm excited. Just settling in. October the 10th. Here in central Kansas with my good buddies at Saltgrass Outfitters. I've been coming up here for a long time. But we came in yesterday, hung a new set around the edge of the creek, of Cow Creek, and we're playing the wind blowing right in our face, blowing right over the creek, so we're bulletproof sitting in here. Only bad thing is that we walk from the north field through the timber with the wind right at our back, walking straight in here, so it's the only way we can make it work. The creek's too high to go across, so we made it work. So anyway, wind's blowing crazy. Had a huge cold front come through this morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. Wind's blowing 20 to 30 out of the northwest. Probably gusting more than that. But I felt good. We're on the south end of some trees. So the wind's really not blowing very much down here low. So it's gonna be tight, but it's gonna be amazing if we can get one of these big bucks that's in the area to walk down this trail in front of us. Y'all stay tuned. There's a deer right there. Oh, that's a pretty good buck. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can shoot him right here. You see him, right? Yes. Just push in and find him. Shoot him. If he's a shooter. I smoked him, didn't I? Huh? Yeah, all right, just, I know, I got you, you're good. It is very early right now. It is 4:27. Our first day in, October the 10th. He, instead of walking down the trail that we were anticipating them walking on, it's actually an old road right here. He cut in the timber right here. I seen him 30 yards away. He cut in the timber and then followed the edge of the creek bank. And I'm talking, I had a window that was this big that I squeezed that arrow through. Oh my gosh, I am so grateful to be here right now. This is a farm that I have a lot of history with. This is the stand that we hung yesterday. As you can tell, it's not very high off the ground, probably maybe 9 foot off the ground, the bottom of my platform. And we were actually anticipating the deer using the trail that's in front of us. They did not. This buck actually got on this creek bank behind us and was walking this creek bait now. And I was able to squeeze an arrow through there. So I'm gonna look at the arrow and then go find a buck. Is a very, very good looking arrow. That when you draw back on an animal and you retrieve your arrow, that's what you're hoping to find. Holy cow. Hey baby, what are you doing? Oh, okay, that's fine. Daddy shot a good buck tonight, baby. I did, yeah, first night out. But we tracked it a little bit. Like I think Daddy made a good shot. It seemed like I made a good shot. There's blood everywhere, but I jumped him up. So we're going back to the truck and we're gonna go back to the house and watch the footage and give this deer some time to die. But he's a really good deer, baby. So just tell Mama that I love her, and then I'll call her in a little bit. All right? All right, bye, baby girl. I love you, miss you. Good. Really good. It's red carpet. So where I shot him, there's literally pieces of lung right there. It's shot lung material down the creek bottom that was stuck in the creek below. We got to that pipeline, probably 30 yards from where we jumped him. I got to that pipeline, I found a shed, and I was like, oh, we'll just hang this shed here. We'll pull it out and give him some time. And I was like, but there's blood everywhere. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Like, we never got off blood. Like, it was just like
good blood.
Blood. It's fat. You know, the only time we ever lost blood was whenever we thought he was going to go around a tree this way, and he went this way. All right.
Gonna be all right. Let me. We'll get him.
I'll go home and medicate. Okay. Well, it is the next morning. We have been in camp. Told the story 100 times, and heading back out. Right here, it's just first daylight, 27 degrees. And I felt good about the shot. Frankly, I don't know why he wasn't dead when we jumped him up. We jumped him up about 45 minutes after I pulled the trigger, about 200 yards from where I shot him, out of a bed. My main thought of the situation is that it was a steep angle. I hit him in the back of the lungs and probably went down one side, cutting into one lung, went through the thoracic cavity, obviously, and punched out the bottom of the other side, but didn't get a whole lot of bleeding inside of the lungs. But he's not gonna be able to breathe. He's got pretty good bleeding. we know that because for the 200 yards we follow the blood. But he's on the creek bank. You see him, James? Yep. I see him. Yep. See him laying down there? Yeah, he's right here, 60 yards. I see him. Dude. God, golly. Well, we found him. I am absolutely tickled pink to be sitting behind a buck like this on the first night in the stand here in Kansas with my great buddies, the Saltgrass Outfitters, Clark and James, and then to have Trevor in camp, who was gracious enough to invite me to come hunt elk at his place in Oklahoma last year, and I wanted to show him thank you. So I invited him up here to Kansas, and then my wife and my 2 little girls, they showed up in camp today, or actually last night. So that's a rare, my kids are never in camp. So I'm super pumped to get this buck taken care of, get back to the house, share it with the family, and you know, celebrate. Trev still got a deer tag. He missed an unbelievable buck last night. Big old 9-point. But I'll be hunting with him, you know, for the rest of the week. So hopefully we can get in the week with a couple big bucks on the ground. Head back home to Oklahoma. So just grateful, just absolutely grateful to even to be here, period. And to be sitting behind a great buck is icing on the cake. Okay.
Take you,
Yeah, all right. That's teamwork. Just find all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah. I found a buck this morning.
Yeah.
That's kind of the same thing.
Welcome to Kansas.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good to
Brady.
have you.
He owns the house.
He does.
Yeah.
This is a nice house.
Come move in. Glad to have you.
No. He came, so we set up. There's a road here, and you know, we got the camera and stuff out in front of us, and we was expecting them, you know, obviously to be in front of us. We had all these lanes cut and everything.
You didn't do anything.
Nothing. He came in behind us. There was only, you know, 5-10 yards between us and the creek bank, and it's just,
This tree we're in is like 5 trees, really.
yeah, it's like a big mess of trees, and he came in behind us, and somehow, I mean, there was a little bitty hole I shot through like that.
I didn't know he was this heavy.
You guys holding that much weight for you?
No.
What happened to your eye?
Oh, Ranger. She was I was lucky.
Excuse me?
I ran doing this. I ran into him and then I was like, it's okay.
You ran into your cat's claws?
No. No, I accidentally kissed him. And it's okay, baby, it's okay. And then she grabbed onto him like this. No, I did not. I did not choke him. And then he scratched him.
And then he scratched you.
And then he was like hanging on my
Oh my goodness. You guys are a mess. Get out of Dodge.